let me say, push the nest and decide who leads us. Because the honest truth is that we have the highest number of the Nigerian population currently. They are about at least 60% of the population of Nigeria currently are young persons, you know. So if we have that numbers, it can translate to political power, because this is what it is. Politics is a game of numbers. Yeah. So if politics is a game of numbers, it means that young people can decide the politics of this country, or how and who leads us in whatever way. So that is what we are, you know, that's what we are going around.
I love your spirit, okay? And I love the drive. But how do you intend to push your drive and your spirit to other youths? Why I say I love your spirit is that you're a young guy,
Yeah.
you're a young man,
Sure.
and we want to see more young folks get involved in governance.
Yeah.
In as much as you said, well, when you say politics is dead in this part of the world, well, that's an opinion, anyways.
Yeah.
But it also takes people to change that narrative. It's a
Exactly.
narrative
Exactly.
that needs to be changed.
Exactly.
And this narrative must be changed by young or by the younger generation who feel that the older narrative must give way for a new narrative. So,
Exactly.
how do you intend to drive your point home down to the concerned individuals that you're targeting?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. So just like I rightly said before, a lot of persons give up hope in this country. I can tell you that if you go to most of the embassies in Nigeria today, you see a lot of applications. You know, young Nigerians, people are about to leave. People have been leaving in droves, right? Now, that gave birth to the Take Back Nigeria movement, right? What we intend to do, or what we are doing really with Take Back Nigeria movement, is to awaken the young mind, right? We want everybody, irrespective of where you are, you know, even Nigerians abroad are part of what we're doing, right? What we want to do is to look at the people that claim that they want to lead us, at least. Let's start from there, right? Can we, as young persons, it doesn't matter where the party the person belongs to, right? You're a member of Apuga. We have candidates actually that we are looking at in Apuga, right? We have candidates in ADC, we have candidates in PDP, we have candidates in APC, we have candidates across board. Your religion is not important to us. What we are looking at is, can we get people that truly and genuinely loves Nigeria and want to grow this country? Because the honest truth is, if you look at it, most of the current players in Nigeria now, most of them started when they were young. They started early, right? At least we know the likes of Atiku Abubakar, who in 1990s, at least in early 90s, was already a big time player in the Nigerian politics, right? He's in his 70s already. Come on, these guys, we don't know. We're not wishing anybody dead, but we don't know how long they are going to live again. So it is time for us now to, young persons to begin to infiltrate the system, right? And begin to do those things differently, because currently we agree that Nigeria is not working, right? I'm not sure Nigeria is working for anybody, if we want to be honest, right? No matter how hardworking you are, Nigeria is just not working, right? It's a failing state, if not failed already. Now, we are trying to get young persons across board, let us come together. If we're able to unite to a common goal, which is the love for Nigeria, patriotism, we want to fix this country, you know. So the Take Back Nigeria movement currently, what we are doing is to sensitize young people across board, right? Can we together as a people speak? Can we begin to talk as a people, as a voice, right? These people are afraid when we are able to organize. I have a personal experience during the NSAS protest, yeah, where I have, some of my clients, alhajis, and some of my clients that actually felt that what we wanted to do was to unseat the president, and they were not happy about it, right? So we have a situation. If we have that kind of a situation, right, over time, then we must begin to come together, because they are afraid when we are together. These people are afraid of us when we come together. So that is what the Take Back Nigeria movement is trying to do, going across Nigeria, motivating young persons. We have coordinators across board, all the states in Nigeria. We have coordinators in local government, and we are moving down to the world. What we want to do is to have young minds that are ready and willing to fix Nigeria. If we come together and form a block, then we can speak. We can say, okay, this is the person we want, right? Having ticked so box, you understand, having checked your past record, having checked your credibility, having checked your integrity and your programs for the young people, we have decided that, okay, this should be the person. So that is what we want to do, and that is what we are doing. So how are we doing it? With the use of, like what we are doing now, sensitizing people, right? Going across social media, you will see Take Back Nigeria everywhere. We have coordinators, we hold offline meetings, right? And we engage party leaders, we engage even religious leaders across board. So that is what, yeah, how we want intend to do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The NSAS project,
Yeah.
so many Nigerians saw it as a good idea. And the picture so many Nigerians pictured out of it was the coming together of young folks who were determined to see change in the system.
Exactly.
But then, you see, like they say, social media don't win election, right?
Yeah.
And then, Hoshabe, don't win election. What wins election is your PVC and your presence to cast your vote. Some will say it was more like a litmus test for the NSAS. And it seems like the youth failed in that area. We had the population was massive.
Exactly.
But then there was an election that took place immediately the NSAS ended, and the turnout was very poor. Lagos, as big as Lagos is, the turnout was less than 3,000. Okay, so now trying to match that movement and the outcome of the election, what is the problem of the youths?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think that um it would really be a little bit unfair to use the elections immediately after the NSAS protest to judge the young people. Don't forget that young persons went out of the street, and I think what led that the drive in most of the young persons were their love for Nigeria. Yeah, a lot of persons genuinely, a lot of young people genuinely love this country, regardless of where they are coming from. Forget about the agitation and whatever. What they want to do is to see Nigeria move forward. What they want to do was to see Nigeria move forward. You'll agree with me that the government did not manage the NSTARS very well, and that actually weakened the spirit, the patriotism, so to say. Let me put it that way, because when I come out of the street as a young man, put my life at stake, because a lot of us actually risked our lives, right? Our business was at stake. Some of us left our business to participate in NSAS, right? Now, now, if you have a situation like that where the government didn't listen or didn't utilize that opportunity, in my opinion, to make we expected the government to use that opportunity to also how should I put it, the okay, so there's a love these people have for their country. It is expected that you make them believe that yes, you're doing the right thing, yeah, by at least listening to them. But what did we get? What we got was high-handedness from government, with the way they handled the whole issue. So, and this is what also some of us realize, that okay, at some stage we failed to do some certain things in NSAS, right? Which we should have done, right? Now, having said that, We have now decided, let me say, we have now decided, right, that we are coming out full, right? With the same spirit, with the same love for Nigeria, we are still coming out to say, okay, this time around, let us do something similar, but this time around, it is strictly based on, you know, getting credible people across board to lead Nigeria. Yeah. So the answers was, there was a particular thing we asked for, which was an end to a criminal setup in the police, in the Nigerian police, right? That we are fed up of. Like, a lot of us have been harassed. I've been harassed as how do I put it? As simple as I look, and I don't have tattoos, I don't have whatever, but I've been harassed by the police a couple of times. So for us to come out and say end this thing is because we are tired of it, right? But then it didn't happen. Now, the Nigerian young persons have decided to come together again. This time around, we are going to give it all we have, right? It is going to be a fight till finish. And what are we doing? What we want is to get, we want to push the right people in office. We know that Nigeria can work. A lot of us has traveled out of this country, and then when you go out and see how Nigerians are meted with discrimination and racism and all of that, there are millions of Nigerians on the streets of UK and Canada and US, begging. These people don't have what they are doing, but they are fulfilled simply because they are outside Nigeria. I don't know if you understand. So we need we need a situation whereby we'll be able to, rekindle the love people have for this country, and use that love to build a better country for all of us. Because,
Okay,
yes,
that's a good one.
yeah,
No, when I started, I said I love your drive and I love your spirit and the zest in which trying to deliver what's on your mind. Now, if you look at the countries we call civilized climes,
yeah,
I really don't like saying that. I
yeah,
feel that we also are in that category. Now, take for instance Emmanuel Macron.
yeah,
It really didn't start from a political party. It started from a pressure group,
yeah,
which eventually metamorphosed into the party that
yes,
brought him up.
yes,
We have seen leaders already, like all the persons that have thrown their heart in the ring to contest for the office of the president are all known to us. We have seen the antecedents, we have seen their capabilities,
yes,
and we can just predict what they can do.
exactly,
Good.
exactly,
If we draw from France,
yeah.
what do you think you to have to belong to any of these parties to get what they want, right?
Mm,
Or can they have their own party now
yeah,
where they can profile people? It's okay. Or profile 50 persons.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, you pick one person and then sponsor that individual.
Yeah.
Is it doable?
Of course, it is doable, and I think, to be fair, I think a political party in Nigeria is already doing something like that, something very similar.
Well, that was when they say 300 Spartans.
Spartans, yes. The ADC,
Yes.
in my opinion, is a step in the right direction. Yeah, I feel that we should consider every considerables, right? Everything, like any option should be on the table as far as getting young people involved in politics is concerned.
But when you say any option,
Yeah.
some might not be comfortable with that word, any option.
What I mean by any option, let me explain what I mean by any option, right? So we can have parties that are strictly pro youth, so to say, like what ADC is doing currently, yeah. Then we can also have young people infiltrating the already established parties, especially the PDP and the APC, right?
But how do they now? Some of the complaints.
Yes.
Why I brought this up?
Yeah.
You're a young man.
Yes.
Some of the complaints
Yeah.
is that, for instance, the APC,
Yes.
their form is 100 million naira, right?
Yeah.
PDP, their form is 41 million naira.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how many young folks, in all honesty, okay, can afford that money? That is one.
Okay.
Two, what are the chances that the party will pick you during primaries to be their flag bearer? And that's why I threw that question.
Okay.
If you have a youth party and you say, this individual is our candidate,
Yes.
and this is the amount for our form, all right? And this is the amount for our form. And then all Nigerians, Nigerian youth, contribute, for instance, 100 naira.
Yes.
There's a 15 billion naira peg
Yes.
for campaign by INEC. If you're running for the office of the president, it's 15 billion naira for you to do your campaign. You must not exceed 15 billion. How many youths can pull out 15 billion from their pockets and do it? That's why I threw this to you now.
Yeah.
Can we have a party
Yes.
that you can say, okay, this is for the youths, and then the youths can go all out like they did in US for Barack Obama, where they contributed money for him to run his campaign, and leave the known parties that we have already and say, this is us, and let's see what we can do with ourselves.
Okay. So let me be honest, yeah. To be fair to some of the political parties, right? They've also given young people 50% discount in their forms, right? Like the APC and I think the PDP also, right? They have 50% discount for those monies. Now, but having said that, I honestly feel that like I said, every option should be on the table in my opinion, right? Now, there are young candidates, or there are candidates that currently people are crowdfunding for. It happened in 2019. Kingsley Moghalu got a lot of donations from young people. The likes of Showore got a lot of donations from people
And
as
these are
well.
people that are known, and people these are 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 people that are known.
Yeah,
We
but
cannot
another thing,
forget.
about the issue of, does the Nigerian youth have that kind of money? Yes, I think there are some young persons that can pull that kind of money. But another thing is, I believe that the office of the presidency, right, is not an office where it's not where you train people, in my opinion. It's my personal opinion. It is where you need capable hands. Now, I'm not tagging page to age to it, because there are young persons that are credible. There are young persons that we've known their credibility and we know what they can do. Now, what I'm saying is that if you want to be the president of a country, or you want to lead a country like Nigeria, then you should start planning on time, right? And what I mean by planning on time, look at what someone like Jandor is doing in Lagos. There's a candidate called Jandor in Lagos. Now, this guy started long time ago. He's still a young candidate, but he started long time ago. He formed a movement, right? Lagos for Lagos movement. And then from there, they started canvassing until he collapsed his structure some few months ago into the PDP, right? And then currently he's contesting for the office of the governor. Now, if he wins the election tomorrow, right, you obviously know that this person won because he has done his homework over time. So if there's any Nigerian youth that wants to be the president of Nigeria, well, I don't see it happening in 2023, in my opinion, right? I don't see it happening now, but I feel that maybe in 2027, maybe in 2031 or thereabout, yeah, we can have such kind of people working on time, start to build a political structure across board, because Nigeria is diverse. You
Let me
understand?
hold you there for now. We need to go pay some bills. We will come back and we'll continue with the discussion.
All right. Thank you. No matter where you, Baba.
Go ahead.
Okay. I want for you.
I think, right?
Yes.
Please, can you put me off? I think, right? So I
now.
think you should capitalize on it. We
Okay.
have had enough of these people. And different folks throwing their hearts in the ring, asking Nigerians to vote for them come 2023. Now we're looking at the role of the youths when it comes to government and politics. Do we have a place as youths? If we do, how do we, you know, take our place, or like they say, our rightful position as far as governance is concerned? I've heard different people say, oh, some Nigerian youths are not ready for this business. They should go learn more. They should go do this. They should go do that. But then I had them in the studio this morning, so they will be able to speak for themselves and then speak on behalf of the youth. Let me come to Aminorishe Israel. Just hold on with the calls. When we'll get back to the phone line after Aminorishe made his point, youths, youths becoming president. Is it possible for someone at the age of, let's say, 40, 39 downwards? Is it possible to have someone of that age become the president of this country?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, Abuja. It's a pleasure to be in the studio this morning. Speaking about youth participation in election and politics in Nigeria, we've come to the certain point where we must own up and tell ourselves the truth. You see, over the years, youths, we have failed in terms of politics, politicking and participation in Nigeria. We have not been active, we have not been proactive, we have not been strategic. And that is the reason why Take Back Naija has come to not just for ourselves, but even upcoming youth. Today, I'm probably in my 30s. And then the upcoming generation, they would have a legacy to say, oh, at a certain time in Nigeria, this was what happened, and this was what some certain individuals do. I'll give you examples. If you look at the people who are in the political spheres of Nigeria today, they all came in their youthful age. Look at the person of the former of okay, let me just not go far. Look at our President President Muhammadu Buhari. If you look at these elites, they all came in their youthful age. And so we've come to understand that we have failed and we have taken responsibility for our actions. And by remedying this situation, we've come to understand that the political system in Nigeria has been hijacked by these persons. They have come of certain age and they have not seemed to create an atmosphere for the forthcoming generation to take the center stage. We've heard of certain names while we were in school, and today I'm a graduate, I have a master's degree, and so many people, many of us like that. So we've said, no, let's not go to the problem. Going way forward, we as youths, we've decided to align ourselves and participate in politics in Nigeria. How? We've decided that, answering your question, first of all, can the youths presently today, can we say we'll have 2023 a youthful president, maybe within the age brackets of 35 and 40? My brother, the way the things are, I'll tell you, is an outright no. I believe in miracles, but we cannot just sit down and throw our arms in the air in despair. So we have decided to align ourselves with political parties and political movements, sensitizing and reorienting youths across Nigeria. That is one of the purposes we are here. To say, look, your votes count. Let nobody deceive you. If your votes do not count, politicians will not even pay money for people to vote. If you take statistics of the 3 consecutive elections, we've not had participation more than 35. I would just be generous to say more than 35%. You've had staggering percentage of 28, 27, 23 percentages. Now, what simply happens is many people who even register for voting, they do not participate. And that is why we have come to say, you have to participate. Because it is by reason of your non-participation, the man who has money bags will now say, okay, my opponent is leading me by 50,000. After all, the people who are not voting, they are maybe up to 10 million. Okay, I can manipulate figures. But when everybody comes to the center stage and say, look, we are voting, the slim likelihood of people manipulating and rigging elections. Oh, thankfully, we already have a new electoral reform, which would enable electoral results to be broadcasted. So we have come out to say, we can't do this alone. We need to partner with the present generation of politicians. And we as youths and partner with them and probably put in someone who has the youthful mind and youthful interests, that by reason of, if that person is there, then the person will create an avenue, a level playing field, whereby you don't need to have 15 million naira or 100 million naira, as the case might be. This is what we are actually after. On our own, we can't do that, but we are partnering and synergizing with the present system on ground and see how we can push in people who have the same mind of youths. And at the end of the day, the playing field will be, oh, okay, I think let's have a referendum. Why should the electoral campaigning be pegged at 15 billion? That is, how do you expect people to put in so much money and not to put their hands in dirty things when they get into office, because they have to get their money back?
Okay, to be part of this discussion, the number to call is 092094350415 or 08100921267. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I would advise when you call in, please try as much as you can to turn down the volume on your radio set, so we can have a smooth conversation. Okay, um, that's the best way to do it. 09094350415. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Jenny.
Good morning to you, please.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good morning and good morning to my brothers in the studio. My name is Adadov. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Good to have you this morning.
Thank you so much. There are three things I'll take from these guys, and honestly, somehow this landed my heart somehow. Not somehow. I'm somehow happy this morning because listening to the young man, I don't know his name, but he said that when we are together, they are afraid, and that's a fact. And they displayed it really extra. And again, he said, even if this time around, even if it is 2023, that Nigerians are not going to be led by a Nigerian youth as their president, at least let us have the opportunity to choose who will lead us because we have the number. Can we this time around, it's like saying, this time around, we should be the one to choose who will lead us and how. That is important, how he will lead us, how he or she will lead us. And honestly, I'm happy. I would have wanted. I think it's somehow late, but it's better late than never. Can we take back our country? And if you ask me, is it possible? It is very, very possible. We did it during the NSAS, and we can do it again. And I heard when you're asking him that somehow he felt disappointed after the NSAS. There was an election conducted in Lagos, and the turnout wasn't really too good. But can I tell you something? You know, then our Nigerian youth, and we had some fallen heroes. Our youth were massacred, murdered by the same government, by their own government. So let me tell you something. Then Nigerian youth were still in mourning mood. You can't just, your brother, you knew you were holding hands with him just yesterday. Suddenly, just like that, they hit him with a bullet in his head. And after 2 weeks, your son were going to kill behind someone like what to then you have it somehow now. Then I think what caused that one was because we're in the morning mood, to be honest. By 2023, we will speak and they will hear. Thank you.
Okay. Well, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
My name is Benga from Lebanon.
Okay, go on, please, Benga.
The space, political space for the youth to prosper and to flourish is there. But they should not be in a rush. Macron did not just become the president the day he started politics. Their life had to be good, started from somewhere. Obama, the same thing, went through the Senate and became the president. How many of our youth today are in the state of assembly?
But some would say that the system we have and the system the country you're mentioning have is not same. That system gives you a free playing ground to get involved. But when you have, monies that are pegged above the income of a youth, how do you expect them, to pay their way through and get to that place? Moreover, when you talk about leadership, there are people who are in leadership that you don't even know, and they're grooming themselves.
Let me tell you, when you have the youth that has what it takes to become a leader, you don't need to depend on the salary. This like himself and other adults, other leaders. You mentioned in your story that people contributed for Obama. If you have a youth that has what it takes, there are some local government chairman who contribute. Right from councillor, right from House of Rep, so they will contribute. We are saying that let them allow them to be mentor and get experience. A presidential something say 40 years. Look at the landscape today. Who can you point to at the age of 40 that can handle the situation in Nigeria today? Experience matters, courage matters, determination matters, and the respect that person will command all over Nigeria also matters. It's not about the age, it's about what the respect and how you can command, and that boldness, that courage to confront whoever wants to rise up against the state.
Are you saying that you don't have any youth who has the courage to stand up against anything that anyone wants to do against the country? Is that what you're trying to say?
Can you mention one.
I'm just asking you that the ones we have, the older ones that we have they done the needful?
The older one that we have,
yes,
they are doing what they can do.
Good. So why don't you give the youth the same chance to do what they can do?
Let that youth come on, they will not come and give them their bedroom.
Okay.
Before they became Goliath, they are still a lion and a bear.
But nobody knew about it. Him alone knew about it.
And he came and pronounced it.
Good. So let's the same way. Let's give this youth the chance to do what they need to do. Okay. Well, Benga, so we don't keep going back and forth on that. Hello. Good morning.
Hello,
sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, please.
Yes, that is the man on the line.
It's very good to have you this morning.
Yes, as far as I know, in terms of politics in Nigeria, nothing is for the youth because there's nowhere to stand from. Look at today. Let's start from how they are being educated. See how see how they are being schooled. See how they are attending school. At least you learn from somewhere. You need to be educated enough to know what to do. See their background. No, it's nothing to talk, say about. Now you come into the real politics. You see how they commercialize everything. See what is happening there. They know that these people has nowhere without to come on board. They know. And yes, it's not how to start about it. At least in the first place, one has to feed themselves well. If there's no employment for them, nowhere to get the money. How do they stand with rather they use them as dogs and they use themselves to come? So anybody that is talking that they use to come on board, I can ask them they should wait for the next war, not in this generation. Thank you.
Well, that will be for the youth to decide. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Kenya.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah. This is
Isaac, good to have you this morning.
Well, when you're listening to the youth, you don't know what I would say, whether it's a youth lamentation or what. But when you look at the population of this country, the youth and the women are the highest. When you come to election, let me ask, who are those that are being hired as top? Who are those that are fronting the political rally of this state and the Who are those that you see in the street busy testing posters of our ancestors? And some of the people came out to say the youth came together. I saw some youth on the television. They have raised over 60 million for the governor of Central Bank. I saw some of the political leaders, those are aspiring for the seat of the president, said the youth came up together and then they are ready to buy a nomination form. A house divided against itself can stand.
But Isaac, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. If there's a step in the right direction, don't you think it's time to encourage this youth? Everybody cannot think alike. You know that. We all cannot think alike. And that's why 10 children cannot behave the same way in a family. But if you have a chunk of the children saying this is what we want, don't you think it's a step in the right direction?
Even those that are in the studio, they're not thinking towards what direction.
Isaac, Isaac, these young men are here. You cannot make such statements on them. Why they're expressing their own intention. I think that's Isaac. That is way too way. Isaac, that's too far for you to say.
On the day of election, you see these same people that were thinking that they are together, being so divided.
Mr. Isaac.
This has happened.
Mr. Isaac. Mr. Isaac.
They came under one umbrella.
Mr. Isaac.
But at the dying minute, that you are expecting them to put their hands together and stick to one person. You see the vision.
Okay, Isaac, I have to let you go, but that's I think that's unfair judgment. Go ahead, please.
But please, may I say something? Isaac and everyone who has that same opinion. the fact is, we should understand we are in a situation. You cannot generalize with the bad characters or the bad behaviors of some certain Nigerian youths and categorize every Nigerian youth to have that same mindset or character. I think that would be very erroneous and great injustice to the youth. There are several Nigerian youths who have done credibly well. We've heard about Flutter Wave, the guys who made Flutter Wave. We heard about the person who has the guys who have Patricia. You know, we can go on and on. We have seasoned technocrats, youths who have come up from nothing, given nothing, handed nothing, and we came up to be something. So we should not just look at the bad limelight of people who maybe youths, Nigerian youths who were probably at one point fatherless, those who were not properly brought up, and generalize with everyone who has a different intention of moving forward. We are said, yes, we have come this far to say enough is enough. Nigerian youths are up.
Okay, let me come to Ezekiel, your last word in 30 seconds, please. To the Nigerian youths this week.
Okay. What I want to say to the Nigerian youth is simple. So we are here, right? What we are looking at is solutions, right? How do we move forward? And that is why we are giving you Take Back Nigeria movement. That is why Take Back Nigeria movement came in the first place. What we want to do is to find solutions to our problems politically, as far as Nigerian system is concerned. Join us, right? We have a website. We have membership of over 10,000 youths cutting across board, coordinators and board coordinators and local government
Across the
coordinators
36 states.
across the 36 states. What we want is for all people to come together. Let us join together and start making these decisions. Let us start doing things right. You know, hoping that in the next few years we'll be able to fix Nigeria, not just for ourselves but for our children.
I like
and
that,
future
not just for
generations.
ourselves, but for our children. And
Yeah.
well, for Take Back Nigeria, we'll be having more of you. At least. So I think maybe that will be a booster for our youths
Yeah.
to know that governance, you don't stay away from it. You need to get yourself involved, be part of the politics. So you don't stay out of the ring and say politics is dirty. It's dirty because those that are playing it have made it dirty. For us to change the narrative, you must get into it and go contribute your own quota. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Thank you, young man, for being part of the
Thank you
show
so
today.
much.
And then just keep the spirit alive and keep it going. I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. And long live Nigeria. Just be a contact. Peace out.
God's word is nourishing to the soul and spirit.